Hi, my name is Loy and I want to share some context about this video. I was just about to post it, but then I realized that there's some missing context and I want to address that first. The thing is, if you're employed in the formal sector in Kenya, then you might already have access to this information that we're going to talk about in this video. But the truth is that majority of Kenyans are engaged in the informal sector. So for most of us, this information is totally new. For me personally, I have been an artist all my life. I've been working in the arts, in the media, and in this space, you earn your money, and what you do with it next is up to you. I was not exposed to this information at all. So when I learned it recently, I was just, totally mind blown. So I'm excited to bring it on this platform because I know for many Kenyans, we just don't have access to this information. I don't know what the statistics are today or as you watch this, but the truth is that majority of Kenyans are not insured in any way. Many Kenyans are not even banked. So we don't have this information. So I'm glad to share it with you guys. If you've already had this information and if you already practice these things, Miss Hour too, the truth is that many of us are hearing this for the first time. So thank you so much for clicking. Let's just get into the story. So thanks again just for agreeing to have this conversation with us.
Yes, a very important conversation. I wouldn't miss it.
Asante sana. My first question, what do you personally do with your money once you earn it?
Once I earn my money, the first thing I do is pay myself. What that means is I allocate some money. There's a budget I usually have. And a budget, when you think of that word, it's not something that should be daunting or scary, It's just how I know I use my money. If I want to have some entertainment, if it is rent, if it is school fees, there's a way I just know I allocate money every month to do 1, 2, 3 things.
Okay.
So the first thing I do is pay. I have my own insurance policies, my own savings investments.
Okay.
I usually pay them first before anything else.
Which ones are they?
I have education policies for the kids' universities.
Okay.
I have money market fund where it's like my emergency fund, my short term. If I'm planning for a family holiday, I put the money in a money market. I have my pension going on. Yeah. And I have also invested in treasury bonds and the bills. Yeah.
Okay. Those are 4 different methods. You pay those first. When you say you pay yourself, do you mean that you pay those ones? Okay.
Yeah.
So
first thing first is that.
Okay.
Yeah. Then from there, of course, I like to go with like a budget so that I know how I've used this money, where I've overspent. Because sometimes you'll find that there are months you've done things you didn't even intend to. But I just like being honest with myself when it comes to my money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's something maybe in the house I needed to buy, I'll pay the house girl. I'll do this if it's school fees.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever I had intended. If it's shopping, I'll do it.
Yeah.
If it's buying myself some new clothes, maybe this month, I've put it in I've allocated for that money.
So you do a written budget.
I do it. I do a written budget. Yeah. So I'm able to do things without feeling guilt.
Yeah.
Like when I'm buying for myself something, I even take myself out for lunch. I'll treat myself because of the hard work I've done maybe that month.
Yeah.
So
it's on the budget.
And it's on the budget. I'll do it without feeling guilty.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want us to talk a little bit more about the saving part. So before we come back to the budget part, I think I'll ask you about budget. But for me, the saving part, you have talked about 4 different ways. Can we go a little bit into each of the ways?
Yeah.
Education plan, money market fund, pension, and treasury bonds.
Yeah.
Let's finish your personal conversation. Tell us about education plan. Just a little bit about what that is and why you took one. Yeah.
So education plan, just as that name suggests, it's about making sure you have money for your children's or your child's school fees. That's it. Because the most important thing I believe you can give your child, or what I was given, even me, by my parents, was a good education. Had I not, gone through a good education, I would not be the Maureen I am today.
Yeah.
So I make sure my kids will have, if it's the best education that I can give them, so be it. There's a way you can actually plan towards that. Okay. So like now, I have one in class 8 and another one is just in grade 3. So I know before uni is there, I need to have money for university. I need to have money for high school. That's why I started saving some years back.
Yeah.
And eventually, you'll find after the end of, the period, I have a lump sum for school fees. It won't be I need a loan, I need to go to open a WhatsApp group, people to put in money for me. No,
Yeah.
I've already sorted myself, like nimejipanga for that education.
Yeah, one thing that I like about the education plan, so I've also taken an education plan, and when I was taking it, I think the most attractive thing for me was that even if you happen to pass away, or if you happen to become incapacitated, or anything happens to you as the parent, the education plan is still there. So your money is not dissolved somehow. Yeah, because you can save in a bank, but then pass like something happens to you and the children's parents, it kind of, it's not always like whoever will get that money ataiweka kwa education yao. So I think what attracted me personally to take that plan is that it's actually going to be for their education, and the insurance company will ensure that it's used for that purpose.
Exactly.
So that's an education plan.
Yeah.
The next one was money market. Now this is where we're going to have a deeper conversation, because I'll come to it again, but for now just let us know why you took a money market fund.
Yes, so money market, what I realized with it is, other than these other ways where we usually put money like in a bank account, we put money in our phones, the money is just seated there.
Yeah.
Fine, it is safe, but it's simply seated there. And nowadays with inflation is with us. You go to a supermarket with 5K, it buys like 4 items, 5 items, and before 5K was a good amount of money. Yeah. That's now inflation for you. So I realized with money market, it beats the inflation, So if inflation is there at 8 or 9%, you find money market gives you at least higher than inflation. That's why I'd advise people to stop putting their money just anyhow, or under the mattress, in a box. Put it in money market fund, because the return is better. It will beat inflation.
Okay.
So I use it for my emergency. And an emergency can happen anytime. No one predicts tomorrow there'll be an accident. Somebody in your family may need some money, So money market helps you, or rather helps me as an individual, to have that emergency kitty ready.
Yeah.
Because it's easily accessible as well. And also I said about the other time, planning like for my holiday, because I like to take a holiday even if it's once a year with my family. How do you get money in December? You start planning in January. It could be you're putting even 5,000, whatever you can afford a month. By the time it's January, that's a solid 60K. Okay? So whatever someone can afford, you just do it in bits. Pole pole. And money market helps you achieve that short-term goal. And your emergency fund, even if now your job, like someone was to be told there's no job for you, but you had been saving in money market, you can have a soft landing because you have something.
So what's your policy? For me, I'm currently in the process of building an emergency fund. Yeah. Mimi ni wale. I know a lot. I love talking about money, but execution. So I'm right now in the process of building an emergency fund, and I have a target. My target is 6 months of expenses, of my home's expenses, so that in case anything happens to me or my husband, there's like a 6 months of our home's expenses that one of us or whoever is remaining, or anything happens, we can continue running for 6 months. Do you have a similar approach? What do you put in your emergency fund?
I actually do something very similar like you. I look at what my earnings are roughly in a month, like my average. So let's say if an average is 100K, 6 months I need to have an emergency fund of 600,000. Yeah. Because now I use 100K maybe in a month to do the expenses, the whatnot. So having an emergency fund means 6 months. You put a solid kitty for 6 months. So it's exactly like how you do it.
Okay.
And if you can push it to more, the better.
Yes.
Yeah.
More the better, and that's my plan actually. Like once we have a solid 6 months, then I would definitely be more comfortable trying to stretch for a year. But as you say, like it's a big target in my opinion, because like a whole month, if you for example with the example of 100K, that's how you are just saving 600. It's not easy. Yeah, but then I think I
Yeah.
love the idea of putting it in money market fund because you see those returns like
Exactly.
every month. At least you see, ay, kuna ka thao
Exactly.
kameongezeka. Okay, let's talk about the other one was what? Treasury?
The bonds.
Treasury
yeah.
bonds. Okay.
So government bonds or treasury bonds, it's
Yeah.
simply the government borrowing from us.
Yes.
Okay. And it's usually, you can find there are different bonds. There's a fixed income bond, which is short term, which attracts tax. And then there's an infrastructure bond, which is tax free. That's the one that is very enticing to me, and also the one I usually advise people because it's tax free.
Okay.
Imagine getting some 13% on your investment and you will not be taxed. It's a very good thing.
Yeah.
The only thing about it is that there's a minimum, which is 100K. But you know, money market can help you achieve that minimum. That's why money
Yes.
market is important. You'd put even 10K. Then by October, 10 months from now, you have the 100K.
100 plus a little bit
Exactly.
of what do you call it? The interest or the what? The
Exactly.
dividends? I don't even know the terms.
The interest.
The interest.
Then you're able to invest in an infrastructure bond. The only thing about the bond is that you get the interest from what you invested twice a year. So like if you put in,
Okay.
let's say, for example, 1 million shillings, 13% of 1 million, that interest is what is given to you twice a year.
13% of 1 million. So let's use that example just to understand infrastructure bonds. You put 1 million shillings. 13% of 1 million, is it 130K? Yeah. Wow, that's not bad. So for example, you put 1 million shillings in a treasury
infrastructure bond.
Infrastructure bond. You get 13% of 130,000 shillings paid out to you twice a year. So, does that mean 130 inalipwa mara mbili or divide by 2? 130 divide by 2.
So meaning you'll get 65K, then 6 months later
65K.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's really good. The fact that it's really not being taxed, and you won't be taxed, you know. And then now at the end of the period, because a bond is mostly long term, you get the principal that you invested, that amount that you put in.
So this is, I'm now understanding. I need 1 million to put in an infrastructure bond. Yeah. That is really good,
It's pretty
good. Because let me just calculate. I've already calculated, but my mind has started running about it. So you put 1 million in a bond. Every 6 months you get 65K for the next X years.
Yeah.
For the next 10 years or whatever. That's a really good investment idea.
A very good one.
So for you put your money in infrastructure bonds.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. Apart from your own personal approach to saving, what are maybe give me the top 3 what you consider the top 3 best options for saving in Kenya? Apart from the ones you've said, because I'm sure you're already saving in the best of but what are other options that you consider that people should really consider saving their money?
Yeah, those ones I previously highlighted are really amazing. The pension, the money market, and also we have people who put money in SACCOs. SACCOs are where, of course, you put money together. You're able to do some very good investments, what we call good debts. You can buy land, which is important, because land is always, appreciating, So you pull money, you're in a good circle, but you also have to understand the circle. Don't just jump into any. There's so many of them. Don't just jump into any of them. Know the stability, know the dividends they offer. Is it a stable, circle? And then you go for it. You get your land there so that even you're able to even have, even if it's housing, even if you're doing things like being a landlord and also helping people get housing. But I think SACCOs are also very important to have if you're able to.
Do you save in a SACCO?
Yes, I'm in a SACCO.
Okay.
So that when I need to, of course, SACCO is mostly a credit facility. That's how I look at it.
Okay.
So that when I need that 3 million to be able to buy this land and do a thing, I'm able to get it. You get?
Okay, so you would rather take a loan from a SACCO than from a bank?
I'd rather that. Yeah, depending on the circle that someone is in. Circles they have different regulations as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes even a bank you have very good relationship with your bank. So you have to wait.
Okay, so it just depends. It depends on each person's situation.
Depends. Yeah.
Okay. So apart from the circle, Which other one? Just give us 3. Like I want us to have options.
Yeah.
I love the ones you have mentioned before, and I think I'm going to copy you. But just apart from that, so you have your what you have mentioned already, and you also have a circle.
Yes.
What else? Any other, like, is there any other thing we are missing, like a top savings approach?
Now, also depending on your risk appetite, because there are people who also save in the stock market. But it depends. That's why I said it's dependent on the risk appetite you have.
Okay.
Because now that's where we buy a piece of, a good company. Like how you hear Safaricom shares, EABL shares. It's good to plug into that. Because in the long term, you find a company has really grown and you're growing with it. Because you have a piece of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we call that equity fund or the stock market. Okay. If someone can plug into that, but just understand your risk appetite.
It's risky because the company can also go down.
Exactly. We've had companies, going down, and before they used to be something. Nakumat is a very good example.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I think generally, that's pretty much it.
You have not mentioned a bank account anywhere.
A bank account. I think the reason, personally, I still have a bank account. It's just for safekeeping of my money.
Okay.
Because you'll find the minute I get money in my bank account, I usually now send it to these places I've mentioned. I will pay myself on the policies, on the pension if I need to top up. Even you can top up a bond if you need to top it up, and then I put a big chunk in money market. I rarely have just money seated idle in my bank. Yeah, rarely.
Wow. Okay. Number 1, money market fund. Number 2, education plan. Number 3, pension. Number 4, treasury. How do I start? Let's talk about money market fund and treasury, because when it comes to pension and education plan, that will now depend on, maybe somebody will need to look into an insurance company and all this. But for example, with the money market fund, if I want to now start saving in a money market fund, what do I start with? How do I even begin?
Money market funds, good thing now, they are easily accessible even online. Yeah, you can even check out companies' website. It's done by different fund managers. That's what we call them.
Okay.
A bank could be doing it. Insurance companies are doing it. You simply fill out a form with your details. Of course, those KYC details, the name, the ID, of course. And after that, you're good to go. And imagine you can invest as little as 500 bob.
Yes.
Into your money market.
Yeah, so funny story. Mimi ata, I had no clue about money market fund. So I love talking about money and all these things, but I'm also quite clueless. And I suspect that many Kenyans are similar, because a lot of people that I talk to just in general, I don't have this information. So I had no clue about any of this money market fund things until last year, 2022. Which is ridiculous, but that's the truth. That's the truth about it. Mi nilikuwa na save kwa bank account. I would just put my money in the bank, and what I did was I also, because I remember, was it Prime Bank? There was a bank which collapsed. Imperial, sorry.
Yeah.
Imperial. When Imperial Bank collapsed, I was like, hey, okay, this is risky to put money in the bank. Let me open different bank accounts. So today I have
tell us.
I have 10 bank accounts.
What?
In different banks.
Oh my. No, I didn't hear that.
I'm not lying.
What?
I have 10 bank accounts in different banks.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Equity,
5, 6,
Co-op,
7, 8,
NCBA,
9,
Loop,
10.
EcoBank. I literally have 10 accounts. I don't know what I'm doing with all of them, but I don't know.
No,
so that was what I thought was safety. So like if I get 10k, nitaweka 1,000 kwa zote.
What? This is now
so just, and what? I am educated, as I said. She was sitting in front of me in Form 4.
I am shocked. I did not see that coming. Anyway.
So just to give you an idea of how clueless I was, I'm sure, like, I don't think other people are as clueless as I was, but this information needs to get out there, basically. So I learned about money market funds last year, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I started saving in the money market fund. What I did, I went to a bank. I went to this bank, I googled basically. I went to the bank, I sat down in the bank with the lady, and she told me, to open your account, and actually nowadays this bank you just open online, which is funny. Like I think it's the first. It's very convenient. The first bank in Kenya where you can just open your account online, go download the app, open the bank account, and then she told me, once you get the app of the bank, you just go click on money market fund or whatever, click on this type of thing and invest and put the money. And it was so direct. I just did the thing on the phone, and within like 3 days I had kind of put my money in a money market fund. After 1 month later, I remember I think I put about 60,000 shillings. And about 1 month later, I saw like it has earned, I don't know, 400 or whatever. I was like, oh my gosh, amazing.
It's a game changer.
It was a game changer for me, and that is kind of what also put me on the path to this whole conversations that we are having, because I was like, oh my goodness, yani hizi miaka zote, do you know I have also worked for like 10 years. Hizo pesa tu zote za 10 years naweka tu kwa hizi my 10 bank accounts. It's ridiculous. So for me that was my journey. I just literally did it on the phone, on the app. It was chap like that. Nice. To start investing in the money market fund. What about treasury bonds? How do you do it?
Bonds, the thing about bonds, you just need to have an account through CBK. It's called a CDS account, Central Depository Settlement account, okay? CDS account. So it's very simple. You'd either do it through somebody, or you yourself, you go to CBK. Request the forms. You know, sometimes when you get CBK, it's very intimidating. You think, how do I go to that?
That central bank of Kenya.
It's that simple. I mean, just go there, request for forms for, purchasing a bond. They give you the forms, you fill the forms, your bank confirms that you have an account with them. Within 7 days, you are alerted, your account is ready.
Okay.
It's that smooth.
So it's just a bank account within the Central Bank of Kenya.
Exactly.
Okay. Once you have that account, what next?
Once you have that account, you now wait for a bond that suits, maybe what you can afford if it's out.
Okay.
Yeah. It could be now a fixed income bond, but that one will be taxed. It could be a 5-year, bond or a 10-year bond. You just put in, if it's 50K, those ones, the minimums are not 100. But if it's an infrastructure bond, you need to have a minimum of 100K and just deposit it on that account. That's it.
Okay. Wow.
That's it.
How do people find out that now this bond is available, that bond is available? Ndio sasa deposit your pesa?
You can be checking on they usually show them on the CBK website. So meaning you have to at least follow the CBK, guys, to be seeing what's happening. Be also alert when it comes to the business news. Now you're interested in money working for you. Many you can't be all on Netflix,
on TikTok,
when there's something about business that
Yes.
Or even if you have a financial advisor, they could also, like what I do with my clients, I tell them, the bond is here, get ready, and then because that's what I do on a daily, and then they're able to purchase.
So is it possible you just get your account at Central Bank, then whether there's a bond or not, you just be putting money? Is that also one approach to go about to do?
It's possible, but now you'd need to know you're putting money for what. Is it just a 5-year thing? It's not like it's an infrastructure all the time. It may be you're putting money just for a 5-year thing.
Okay, so you can't just deposit money like a regular bank account ati umeweka tu pesa zako hapo uta withdraw.
No.
Okay, so as you put money there, it has been invested.
It's very intentional.
Yes.
On what where you putting the money for what, for how long.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to ask a bit of a personal question.
Yes.
And if you're not comfortable, it's okay. But I'm curious about, apart from your pension, what other like long-term investments? Are you into land? Are you into property? Are you into like the things we hear? Some people are into Bitcoin, some people are into cryptocurrency.
Yes.
Like, are you into any of these other long-term investments that you can speak about?
I'm big on at least other than the pension, I've invested in land. Okay. So there are two parcels of land that have been able to purchase.
Okay.
And the beauty with land, as we said earlier, it's appreciating. Okay. So land, and then the pension. I'm not big on Bitcoin because of my risk. It's very important to understand
Risk.
your risk appetite.
Okay.
You know, there's somebody who's let me go into this thing.
High risk, high
Really
return.
well, you know, high risk, as in let me do this.
Yeah.
But the younger you are, those things are advised to. The younger you are, you can do them. Like take risks.
You have time to recover.
That's it. You have time to recover. So depending on your risk appetite, you can always venture into those things. The earlier, the better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So land is the next secure. What you would consider like for you was your next secure choice.
Yes, land, and I've also invested in stocks as well.
Stocks. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. Hey, you've let us into a lot of your thoughts and your experience, so I'm so grateful. And for me, Mazemi, honestly, I've learned. Guy, honestly, I have learned a lot, and I'm so grateful that you agreed to share, you know, all this. Thank you so much for your financial advice. If you'd like maybe share your contacts, you can share your contacts for anybody that needs a financial advisor, anybody that needs to hear more, because I don't want to continue asking very personal questions. So if anybody that if anybody wants to learn a little bit more, or maybe even get your services as a financial advisor, how can we reach out to you?
So on my handles, that's Instagram, that's Twitter, that's Facebook, and there are so many nowadays. LinkedIn, I don't know what, it's just Maureen at Siaya.
Okay.
That's it.
Sawa.
And then if you reach out to me on those platforms, I'll be able to even take you on a one-on-one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, asante.
I'm
I'm really grateful, and you guys, hey. Yeah, I hope now we are kind of wiser about what to do. Like once you've worked so hard, you've earned your money, what next? It is time to make your money work for you. So I hope this conversation has been really enlightening. For me, it has. Why lie? It has. And I hope that you've really picked up something that you are going to implement today. Whatever we've talked about, I hope there's something that if you are not already doing, you're going to start it today. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being with us, and peace.